What's up, guys? Kioma here. I'm with Dr. Stein. We're doing our first weekly analysis of PUDL Showdown Season 1, sponsored by Kaz the Weeb. Please send us money, Kaz. Sponsor us. I'm here with Dr.
Please.
Stein.
Hello, everybody. Not a real doctor, as Kioma has exposed already.
No, let me go clear into something. Our boy got his doctor title back. The Mafia forgave him after all the help he did to the Mafia's entertainments. So yeah, you're a doc again, you're fine.
Let's go.
Now, what did we have on this first week? Let's talk quickly about the results. First we had Kingler versus Embrace Assassin. I'm going by the nicknames in the spreadsheet. If you don't like it, please let Kaz know, and then he changed there, and then we change here. That's, I think, is the best way we can do. We got a Kingler win with 4-0. Then Mr. Mag versus Innova YT with another 4-0 victory to Mr. Mag. Then Peter versus Dusty, a close game, 2-0 to Peter. Then I think it's Herdis versus MSR, a really close match. That was a sick match too, by the way. 1-0 to Herdis. Let me try to go faster by this. Lemon won 3-0 versus Wuba. Then we got Alex winning 1-0 versus Harvey. Funch winning 3-0 versus Bobby Sins. And then That Boy Keith 1-0 versus Michael of the Perk. Or whatever we spell it. Sorry, brother. Yeah, that was a
pretty,
kind of... For a week one, that was a ton of action. What do you think?
Definitely. We have our, well, not necessarily landslides, but we have our pretty dominating matches. But I like that the other half is composed of much more closer matches. And as we're going to be talking about, some real nail biters too. Like some of them won by the skin of their teeth here.
Yo, and one fun thing, there are matches that look like they were more straightforward and they actually were really close, and vice versa. Like That Boy Keith versus Michael of the Perk. I don't know how can I'll just say Michael to make it easier. Like Keith versus Michael, it was a 1-0, but it was a total domination from Keith's side in my opinion. Like he had to control the whole match.
Definitely, I would agree there. And if actually you've seen, I want to say he actually posted on this channel, his commentary. You'll see that he had most of this calculated, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was very much in the sense that he knew it was either going to come down to a 2-0 or a 1-0, but he knew what plays he wanted to make. And I think probably the only thing he wasn't counting on was the Barraskewda putting in as much work as it did, but besides that, yeah, he was very ready for this match.
Yeah, like he had the matchup on his mind. Like he know what he need to sack, what he need to accomplish for the match go his way. But yeah, Barraskewda is a hard hitter for sure.
Do you want to go through match analysis? Like go through the matches just very briefly? Like we did for Keith, let's say we already did it for Keith and Michael. Like I think what we did right there was very on point.
Yeah, if we can go like that. I don't remember enough, I think, about those, but if you give me a, how can I say, like a leg on it.
Like I said, the suggestion I would make is just play the thing and just put the speed on the fast.
Oh, they changed the fucking layout on the website. Oh, okay. No, I found it. By the way, they just changed the layout on the replays, right?
Mm-hmm. I just saw that.
I was like, yo, what the fuck?
It's got a nice background.
We're going by order,
yeah,
by the way.
Fast.
But do you have the spreadsheet from the PUDL? Like, I'm watching literally
do I have the
disorder on the schedule thingy.
All right, so what match we're gonna start with?
You wanna do in order? We can do maybe on the opposite order because we already spoke about Keith.
Okay, sure. Okay, so what's the next one then?
Funch versus Bobby Sin.
All right.
Let me give
so
you.
let's talk.
Yeah, let me give you a heads up. Now, also Ben versus Bobby Sins. The Glimmet came game 1. I was honestly expecting
that was
Ben was really excited.
yeah,
about that.
that was actually very good.
Like our boy was really excited about the thing, and Baxcalibur and
I do remember him talking about that.
yeah, Bax and Glowking. It's just such a scary. I think he also has one of the best Terra Captains in the whole league in Espion. But on the other side, we had Poke.
Oh no, Espion's a goat.
Sorry?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say Espion's a goat when it comes to just being a Terra Captain. It already has a good move pool, and just terrestrializing gives it all the coverage it can ask for.
Yeah, and
Terra
a really
Fairy
good ability.
will gives it stab or Dazzling Link, because I think it already gets Dazzling Link. But Terra Fighting is the perfect replacement for freaking Focus Blast.
Yeah.
You know?
Just to have a fighting move that's 100% accurate.
Definitely. But yeah, I really did like the Glimmet lead. It did what it needed to. And it did get both layers of Toxic Spikes. I don't feel like it did much, to be honest. But just having both of them there means a lot, especially because I don't think Bobby Sins brought any heavy-duty boots on his team. But yeah, the Bax and Loking combo is a match made in heaven. Definitely worked out well. And the Mimikyu surprised me here. It did so much.
No, it was
right?
banded 100%.
It one-shotted the. It was banded, right?
Yeah, it was banded. I'm almost sure it was banded because there was so much damage. Like Wood Hammer is 120 base power, but still.
No, but still, it's to one-shot a freaking roll and wash.
Yeah, maybe it was
Good
special roll
job.
Too. Yeah. Maybe Bobby Sins can hit us up in the comments if he watches. But we're curious about
definitely.
the EV spread.
I mean, you don't have to reveal all your little secrets here. Just particularly this, we'd like to know how this Rotom Wash was spec'd out, because I mean, Rotom can be very bulky, but seeing the charge beam on this kind of leads me to believe that he probably was a little more offensive.
Yeah, right.
But I would like to see or know what else he brought on it, and what gameplay he probably had. Because Will-O-Wisp probably was his only supporting move. But yeah, good part of Funch for prepping to take this danger out, because a lot of us in Lee, a lot of us in draft know that any Rotom appliance can be really annoying to deal with.
No, yeah, and honestly, Bobby Sins is just so great. Even the 6 he brings, like he had pulled Heatran, Rotom Wash, that's arguably the best Rotom ever existing. And Hariyama is also a sick Terra Captain. I love that one too.
I think Hariyama probably pulled the most weight on his team during this match, to be honest. And like I said, even though he didn't bring heavy-duty boots, his team was very well equipped to handle hazards, right? I think the only ones that were suffering a bit were probably Heatran, since he switched it in and out a bit, and Dragapult. But besides that, it didn't affect much of his team, especially once he Terra Steel.
Yeah, also two flying
so
too.
good prep on Bobby Sins.
And also shoutouts to Ben, because beating 3-0 a team like this, like in your first match, I think the first match it's the trickiest one, because you don't know anything about to expect, you don't have intel, and also all the emotions of the kickoff of the season. We all want to do a good start. So there's
plus it gives you time to really know how to synergize with your team, because you drafted these mons and you had a plan and idea of how they're going to work together, but now you get to put it in practice, and sometimes the first week things just don't go as planned, and that can either really motivate you or give you that confidence boost, or can make you start rethinking and wanting to trade everyone you got drafted.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. And I think the first 3 weeks, if it's a long league, if it's not 8 weeks, you just use to get a feel of your team, you know.
Definitely. All right, so what we got next on the
next we have
here?
Harvey versus Alex, and that sick Hydreigon set.
Ooh.
Dude, that was a blast to watch.
Harvey versus Alex. All right, so where you want to start with this?
That was hell over the place. We had a lot of hacks. We had paras all over the place with the glare on Sanacondo.
No, that's putting it lightly. A lot of hacks is putting it lightly, bro. This was hacks galore. I've never seen a draft match like this. And everything I witnessed, maybe, I mean, obviously I haven't seen every draft league ever, but just seeing this, what went down, you want to go into detail?
Yo, I saw before like things like AV Hydreigon and some different Hydreigon sets, but this hack set like U-Turn, Stealth Rocks, Thunderwave, Dark Pulse, this guy is nuts, and I love it. I think that's completely the highlight for me. Also the Enamoros fight, it's always something cool to watch. We also had the banded Rillaboom. I think someone said in the chats that the Rillaboom was banded. It's also some...
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why he knocked off again.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. Well, now it makes a lot more sense. But yeah, there's plenty of hacks on both sides. We have some glares that came from the Sanaconda with Harvey, and then we had the Thunder Waves, very clutch Thunder Waves, if I might add, from the Hydreigon on Alex's side. And you're gonna see as the match goes on how crucial each of these paralysis were. The paralysis on the Moltres helped him get a Paraflinch and take it out, which was a huge defensive wall, in my opinion, against everything that Alex brought. I mean, this thing checks the Corviknight, it checks Infernape, and potentially could be a problem for the Enamoros. This is just the regular one, right? But besides that, though, getting rid of that Moltres was very huge. And early on, I think that's the first mon that Harvey lost. But you're going to also see how at the end of the game, the paralysis on the Rillaboom really cost Harvey the match at the end as well. So props to both, honestly.
Yeah, that was a really good match.
And I think, adding on top of the hacks going on here, the fact that the banded Grassy Glide would have probably KO'd the Infernape at the health it was, really is it hurts, but it's like, that's kind of one of the closest things you could say, that you could have won, but you just got hacks at the end. Because in the end, it just shows Harvey's great prep, right? As out of control as the match did get, it was great prep on both sides, because it could have been anyone's game. If the paralysis didn't go off, he won. But unfortunately, it did get him in the end, causing Infernape to land the final hit.
Yeah, also not much luck from Harvey's side on the Shed Skin. He only got one, and it didn't really make a difference. Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. And you know, it's just, sometimes the Shed Skin works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't, but it just continues to prove to be the best ability on Sanaconda.
Yeah, no, Shed Skin is just so great with the rest too. It's always worth the risk, I guess. Like Scent Speed, it's just, I mean, it's very situational. I think Mephisto showed some cool usage of it on SPL, but besides those specific situations, it's 95% Shed Skin all the time.
Yeah. But besides that, I don't really have much else to say. I'm surprised by how many choice items were put on this team, though.
Yeah.
Or on both teams. Because I think, if I'm mistaken, the Infernape was choiced, the Jolteon was choiced, the Rillaboom was choiced.
Oh, Jolteon
was
choiced?
That it?
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yes. That's why if you notice toward the end, he kept clicking
Yeah, the Terra
Terra
Blast.
Flying.
Mm.
Yeah, Terra Blast. Because he was locked into it.
Makes sense. Maybe specs, no?
Yeah. So these were 3 choice ones in one match. So, very interesting, but that just shows they were going all in on it, and I like it.
Yo, I wanna see who in this league has the balls to bring 6 Scarfs and Volturn in every single one. Come on, guys, make it happen. I wanna see some balls in this league.
Please save it when you're guaranteed for playoffs. Don't take this man's word literally right before when points matter.
Nah, just ball. Because if you win doing this, you're a legend, man. We go for the high stakes.
All right then. All right, okay, moving on. Who we got?
Yeah, next we have Lemon versus Wooba, and dude, that was a.
Oh man, this is another one to talk about.
Let me get the playback happen.
Where do you want to start with this?
Well, let's start with turn 1. Hexers and...
I feel like he had a plan, but wasn't really well thought out. Because I feel like Choice Scarf Hexers is probably the most popular of the choice items, and it's always a good thing to do because he heads like a truck, and his speed by himself is not bad. It's just in the in the current meta, it's middling speed. It just doesn't cut out a lot of times. But you pop Choice Scarf on it, and it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, also,
right?
Woba, if Woba is in the comments, just let us know if the Typhlosion was also choiced. Maybe that was some reasoning I can see. But even then, Hexers would still be faster if it's scarfed. But makes more sense if the Typhlosion was scarfed too.
Yeah, it's just... I thought initially, and this was until Kyoma looked it up, I thought maybe Terra Fairy was an option, right? And maybe you could have scared him out. But Terra Fairy is not on the options for Typhlosion, so I'm a bit confused, and definitely would love to hear what your thought was or the plan was for the turn 1, because I feel like it didn't matter, and depending on what it was, it probably would have played out phenomenally.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, its Terras are Fire, Grass, and Dark.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because the thing is, maybe I think either he was scarfed or he thought it was adamant, but still, it's so ballsy to do that turn 1. Like, you try to get some intel before doing that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially something like Hexers, and Hexers gets great coverage if you ask me. He gets both Poison Jab and Iron Head against fairies, and then Earthquake to deal with any steel types that might get away with stabs.
And it's not like he didn't had switches. Like, he had Thunderous to switch into the EQ.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure the G-Weezing is Levitate. I'm pretty sure it's Levitate, because I didn't see any neutralizing gas.
No, but there's Mold Breaker anyway.
Mm-hmm.
On the
oh, that's true.
Yeah, so if he switches, it must be Thunderous.
Now hold up. Now the next subject on this match, we have to talk about the double freeze.
Not only the double freeze, all the paras back and forth in both sides. The double freeze.
Okay, but para is one thing, right? But what is para to a freeze? At least you have a chance to move.
Yeah, you got a point. I think it was 9 turns that we had no toss. Let me run a calc real quick. We have no. I'll save this for later. This calc for later, because we had some stuff cooking for you guys. But the double. The worst part is not 2 freezes in the same match. It's 2 freezes in a row.
Yeah, and it's just that was some terrible hacks. I think that's probably the worst that suffered from it, right? Because in what did we just look at? We looked at Harvey and Alex, right? The difference there is like, yeah, there was hacks, but it was equal on both sides. Both sides got paralysis, and then while it did cost the game to Harvey, I feel like it was fairly distributed. Here it's double freeze, and it's just you can't do nothing at all. But it was funny that we went through a period where G Weezing came out, right? It was already frozen, and Ninetales just kept getting paralyzed, right?
Mm.
And I think Weezing recovered like 40% health on leftovers alone.
Yeah, just by being there, existing.
Just by being there. And he still never thawed out. That's crazy.
Dude, that's some crazy luck. And all of this in week 1. This is so hype.
This is week 1.
We already had so many shit to talk. Not even only the hexes, but some plays and some shit. But do you know by head how much is the percentage of freezing with Blizzard? Because I'm not sure if it's
Blizzard
30 or
no,
10.
I know. Yeah, I know with Ice Beam it's 13% twice in a row.
Let me grab that real quick.
And I say I know, but I bet you someone in the comment section is just gonna point out how wrong those statistics are. Those calculations. Just watch, bro. Someone in the comment section is gonna go and prove me wrong.
I think it's 10% chance to freeze.
Twice in a row?
No, to freeze once, like for Blizzard to freeze.
Oh.
So like,
wait, Blizzard's is only 10?
Yeah, I think so. If Bulbapedia is not mistaken, it's that. So it's literally 1% chance to freeze in a row. Like the 1% literally.
No way. I thought Blizzard used to be it wasn't 30%?
I think it, according to Bulbapedia, it was 10% in Generation 1. It was 30 in Generation 1, and then it was lowered since Colosseum 2.
I guess Frieza's busted, so it would make sense that the worst status got nerfed.
Just in case, let me check on Showdown. Give me one little second. Let's be sure. Yeah, so Blizzard is 10% chance to freeze, so it was literally the 1%. Crazy guy. I guess he lost his chance.
Oh wait,
to play
was this
in the lottery.
Greninja? Yeah. A quick question: do you know if the Greninja was Battle Bomb?
I guess it should be, right? Because I didn't see Protein Pro.
Yeah, and he got a kill at the end, but I guess it doesn't activate if it's the last kill.
Yeah, in the last one, yeah. I mean, it should be, right? It shouldn't be Torrent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it was Torrent, he maybe used Greninja more aggressively, just to try to get there, you know?
Probably. Torrent Water Shuriken probably goes crazy, too. Alright, so what do we got next on the agenda?
Next, Herdis versus MSR. That was a really cool match too. Seeing Blood Moon Ursaluna for the first time, and this started too.
Yeah, this kind of went everywhere, and I feel like it started off really strong for MSR, and then at some point something happened where I don't know. I feel like he just started misplaying because he started off very strong. Let me tell you, I loved the shift retech. I loved it so much, right? Because sure, I mean, it's almost impossible to stop this guy, especially because we found like with Choice Scarf, right? He was gonna get rocks up, whether we wanted to or not. But just how he handled it, getting the Will-O-Wisp, and then from there on, switching it to the Annihilate, it was so good. But I feel like at some point, he just started misplaying, and that really cost him the game.
Yeah, like in turn 1, he just broke Cleaver completely. Like the guy lost his scarf and was burned turn 1.
He robbed him and left him burned.
Yeah. Like if he had one more turn, he probably slapped Cleaver's bitch's ass too. The way the thing was going.
Alright. So where do you think it just kind of started falling apart for you?
Yeah, I'm rewatching the match and trying to see where it came apart. Because things were going really good. He got a taunt on Sylveon and the right taunt too.
I will say the Sylveon put in so much work.
Yeah.
This Sylveon was just wrecking this team.
Honestly, now that I'm watching again, I think the biggest mistake maybe MSR did was like throwing Earthworm, like trying to predict the Sylvan switch. Like if he just have his land when he was in Silver's front, it's a completely different game. He tried to double.
Yeah.
And that was
probably wouldn't have been Jover.
Like I get the logic, but at the same time, we spoke a lot about it when we were prepping in DDL. Like when predictions are on point, when we get them, we look great. It's style points and all the shit. But when we miss them, oh boy, we do look stupid. No offense, MSR. But it feels bad.
This is like no offense to MSR whatsoever.
Yeah, because it was a good
Because
prediction.
like I said, he still played it good.
Yeah, it was a good prediction.
He still played it really well. And actually, if you notice in the replay, he actually started bringing it back with Blood Moon. I haven't fully played the DLC yet, but man, when I'm on ladder on Showdown, this thing, I still don't understand fully what it is. It just does so much damage.
And it's also so bulky. And
I think it's got more Spadef bulk than regular Saluna, right?
I'm not sure by head, but this thing having Moonlight itself, it's already scary as shit. Because giving a
give a Pokemon a great recovery move.
And normally Pokemons have some kind of recovery, but they don't hit really hard. But Ursaluna is basically doing everything. Its only weakness is being slow, basically.
Yeah.
And that's not really a problem.
He was really bringing it back with the Ursaluna.
And he almost bring it back, but the Scyther was also something really good.
Yo, let's talk about the Scyther.
Yeah, the Trailblaze was right on point. And Herdis almost gave him the game back with the Scout on the Tatsugiri.
Yeah. I do feel like he terrestrialized way too early. Because then he left himself exposed to Tatsugiri.
Yeah, with the Scyther, you mean, right? I feel like
Trailblaze was gonna kill regardless. I just don't understand what the point of the early terrestrialize was, to be honest. It's Herdis, right? Herdis, if you're watching, if you want to leave a comment what the plan was or what you were trying to watch out for, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I guess maybe, not gonna lie, I think he probably thought he could swap at that point. I don't know what the other two moves were, but it's kind of what makes sense. But still, Tatsu.
And one more thing I want to talk about is the Tatsugiri Storm Drain.
Oh yeah, I mean he's not bringing Commander, so yeah, the Scout was fun to say at least.
Because I really thought he was gonna win off of that by itself. Because it was just a free Draco, and then you still have enough power for another Draco.
And at that point, let me just see after the lefties how much HP. No, Aloe stayed in 19, but then he swapped out. Cleaver died, and then it's back at 52. I don't know if Surf or anything else kills that range. So yeah, I think he should Draco at that point.
But yeah, this was another really close match that I really liked. Like I said, MSR started off strong and actually was coming back. But at the end, Herdis just had a really good sound at Scyther to bring it all back home.
Yeah, and Scyther is... I also saw a video, I think it's either Envy or GenVet, but I saw a video of Scyther in Showdown, and that mon is much better than I thought with Terra. I guess
it's just been getting better with all the generations and all the moves that come out, right?
Yeah, dual wing bit.
Trailblaze helps out with his speed. Yeah, dual wing is like amazing. Yeah, like we're gonna find out in the bits.
Oh yeah, we also have now Dusty versus Peter going next. And that was also... Yo, Dusty has some cool techs. I love seeing him playing. Like
Definitely. And
just bringing Pinkerton shows you have some balls.
Nah, not just balls, bro. You got heavy balls.
Yeah, just by drafting it, you already have balls, but by using it. And by the way,
And then so efficiently too.
yeah, and lightning rod. It wasn't even the terrain. Because normally you
I don't
expect
feel like
the
he needed
same
terrain
thing.
in this matchup. It
Yeah,
wasn't
he
gonna
didn't
do
bring.
anything.
Yeah.
Mm. And the only thing it would do is just invite Regieleki to try to go wild there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Dusty didn't brought any of his paradox mons like Iron Leaves and Bundle.
I'd love both the Mandibuzz and the Clodsire. They are two walls that definitely brought him through. But actually, Clodsire wasn't even a wall in this match.
Yeah, you talk about walling. Look at the damage that thing was pulling. It almost one shot Bishop.
Yeah, no. The only wall the Clodsire brought was how much force he was bringing. Mega Horn. What else was he? Zen Headbutt.
Zen Headbutt,
Full
EQ,
offensive,
yeah.
and I love it. He wasn't expecting this at all.
Yeah, he took the phrase the best defense is offense a little bit too serious, I guess.
Just a little bit. No. And then what's even better, when he was down, when there was 1v1 against the Probopass, he still lived in Earthquake and took out Probopass too.
Yeah, and it was already low, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that got me sad was losing Mienshao like that. I got really
it was.
sad.
It was really sad, and honestly, I don't know what prediction he was going for, but losing that Mienshao was a kind of everything, to be honest. And like we're gonna find out, it really cost him the game. Like for example, if you go more toward the end game, right, you're gonna see that Regieleki gets poisoned, and a fake out would have bought him time for that poison to kill him at the end.
Yeah, it's some chip damage, it's more poison damage, yeah.
Also, that was his only sucker, well, not his only, but it was a much needed sucker punch resist against Bisharp.
Not only resist, but it's his fastest mon. Like just throwing it like that, really hurt him.
I feel like regardless of all that, Dusty still probably could have won, like even losing the Mienshao.
Also, another cool thing, the gyro ball on Magneton to catch the Spatra.
Oh, dude, gyro ball was huge, because especially if it was speed boost the Spatra, dude, it's just you're just building up your own damage at this point, or they're building up your damage.
Yeah, it's a free boost, and I'll be honest about Dusty. I really like his strategies. But I feel sometimes in game it doesn't go out the way he planned. I don't know how things go in mocks, or if he's either mocking too much or not doing enough mocks, in my opinion. Because some plays look like they were fought either too much, so he might have a bias towards some options, or he didn't tried things enough to know the possible switches and scenarios that can happen during the match. I don't know how you feel about that.
I will say, I think probably the only not the only. I feel like the biggest misplay was just the Whirlwind against the Bisharp. I understand why he would want a Whirlwind, because he didn't want to get sucker punched. But I feel like I would have just substituted, even if I didn't get the substitute off, right? Yeah. Even if I didn't get the substitute off, because I think he was on 23% health, and you need at least 25, right? Yeah, I would have definitely I would have done it just to avoid the sucker punch, and then done substitute again. I don't know. I just feel like Whirlwind wasn't the choice there.
Yeah,
but
at that point,
regardless, it was still a good play from Dusty, though. I mean, good game.
Like it still could go either way, and that's even with the first match anxiety from the guys. Like every single match was close.
Yeah, but definitely, and it's not a takeaway from Peter. Peter still played phenomenally and brought a great set too.
Yeah, he was really patient. Also, I know what he was trying to go with Probopass. It's just the Gladzire put so much work.
Yeah, it really did. That Clodsire, I think, for me, was probably the MVP of the match. Mm-hmm. Fully offensive, and he got like what, 2 or 3 kills?
Yeah, I don't.
No, he got 2.
I think it's 2. But yeah, seeing Clodsire hit that hard, it's just so much fun.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
Now,
all right, what's
we
next?
Got last, yeah. Oh, there's 2 yet. Mr. Mag versus Innova. Yeah, the keys to your heart. Also, we're already seeing some like lower tier mons appearing week 1 too, like the Komala just appearing. Both Cryogonal and Dusclops. Like normally you just go with like your top mons first week and maybe like your 5 best mons and your Terra Captain. I feel like that's kind of the standard for week 1. You don't go too much crazy, you know?
Yeah.
But our guys
I know with my top mons week 1. I think the only like one that wasn't top, well, technically by grading it was top, it was Pommy, but I don't feel like it was a top mon.
Oh yeah, and the Kamala put some work with the knockoffs, like taking a Violet from those clubs.
And the Comatose, the Comatose was really coming in clutch to just switch in on all these Will-O-Wisp and what else did he have? Yeah, just the Will-O-Wisps. He couldn't pull any of them off and because of the Comatose. But I feel like if he was heavy duty boots, he probably would have been able to keep this thing alive a little more because he kept switching it in for like the beginning of the match.
Yeah, and I just realized he knocked off Life Orb from Caesar, the Violet from Dusclops, and the Light Clay from Cryogonal in the Aurora Veil. Also, Snowscape plus Aurora Veil on Cryogonal. What a sick deck.
You don't expect something as frail as Cryogonal to set up its own hail. Oh, it's snow now, it's not hail.
Yeah, the snow, yeah. Which, by the way, shoutouts to Game Freak, that was a really good change. Because hail was just snow, but more annoying.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest thing for me, regardless if they changed the chip damage or not, was just giving some kind of ice buff to ice types. They really needed it.
Yeah, true. Like, ice is just it's subpar type.
Now, let's talk about the moment it just went all downhill. The sub on Iron Moth. That was huge because the only mon on this team, going off the set he brought, that could have possibly lived or survived one hit from this thing was Donphan, and it couldn't get the job done because the sub was still up. And it's a darn shame because if the sub wasn't up, Donphan lived and just killed it with an earthquake.
Yeah, and he saw the sub before too, so he could saw that coming, you know.
Yeah, so it's a darn shame he was able to get it up, but good on I keep forgetting because it says G Garland here, but I know it's not G Garland.
Yeah, it's the Mr. Mag.
There you go, Mr. Mag. But yeah, great set on the Iron Moth by Mr. Mag. It really allowed him to sweep because what he get 3 boosts from the Fiery Dance, and the coverage on it, Energy Ball for the Mana Fee. I think that's the only coverage that really mattered. Everything else doesn't want to take the Fiery Dance.
Yeah. But
that's like really the only coverage that mattered.
But to be fair, I kind of get the logic from Innova there, because he didn't want to lose Caesar that early because there was still basically everyone alive. But again, he already saw
Caesar, I understand that.
Because it was Reflect was still up, you know, too. But yeah, when you saw the thing
he still had Dreamtail, Iron Valiant. I mean, he doesn't do much to Thunder's Therian, but still would have been nice.
But yeah, that was the thing. It was either you try to kill that thing or chip it down, or you just lose the game there. Unfortunately, the coin flipped to the wrong side for Innova. But props to Mr. Mag.
Definitely, no, definitely. Good job. It was a very dominating game and very well played.
And least but not last, last but not least, or non-American speaker here, we have Embrace Assassin versus Kingler. And dude, another sick match just by the first turn. Like when you see some shit happening in turn 1 and it's already like that, you know you're going for a banger, you know. Like dual wing beats.
I gotta say, I'm surprised how much damage freaking Toxtricity was pulling off the Tinglu. What was it? Almost 30% from one boom burst? Jeez Louise.
Yeah, 39%. That's a lot. For Tinglu, yeah, that's a lot. Probably that
is a lot.
Yeah, I think it was probably physically defensive though. You shouldn't take that much. But still. But either way.
Let me see, what else do we got here? Oh yeah, the Phalanx play. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the ruin.
That was some disrespect. Yeah. Let the poor kids just set up. Let Phalanx do something. Because it wasn't Phalanx anymore, it was just fail. You took the links out of the name and just put fail.
And you know the worst part? If he just CCs onto Tinglu, he would lose his defenses and then Whirlwind would throw him out. So that would be such a sick turn for Phalanx.
That would have been a sick play. But wait, hold up. I just realized Embrace Assassin named it Human Centipede. Dude, I'm sorry, you deserve to lose that one.
I choked more than Phalanx now.
No.
I didn't even realize that.
Oh.
Well,
he named it Human Centipede. No.
Oh my god. I guess we have starting next week we have to go also do top 3 nicknames.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, but that won't be it.
But
that will not be on.
That is, some places do honorable mentions. This will be like that, but the opposite.
This will be a dishonorable mention.
Yeah. The shame on you mention.
Oh my goodness.
Like
shame.
The don't. The don't.
Don't. All right. So where are we going from here?
But now, from the match, I have to say something. Shoutouts to Kingler because the match was really close, but I felt he was in control like 100% of the time. He got all the hazards he wanted, and from there he just took the control with the Ogre Pawn.
Oh yeah, sorry, we're almost not giving any credit to this guy besides the Tinglu, but definitely, Kingler had a very dominating match here. Turn 1 with the Scarf Dual Wing Beat took out the Sticky Waves possibility, even if it was a sash. And on top of that, the Tinglu Whirlwind was perfectly timed. A great play on his part. Like we talked about, if it was a close combat instead, it would have been a great play on the other end. Obviously, not consciously, because he didn't know it was going to be a Whirlwind, but definitely good on Kingler there. And the Ogre Pawn finishing everything up was very nice. So great game to Kingler.
Yeah, it looks like everything went into the play into his plan, you know. And also, dude, how do you break a thing with Tinglu and Volcanion and zap those? Like, those are 3 mons that hit hard and tank a lot in the same way. And I think Fezandipti's defenses are also no joke.
I've taken a look at them. They're okay. I've been helping someone in a different in the league that has a Fezandipity. It's got decent defenses if you're going up against like the right mons, right? If you're going against the right mons, then yeah, I agree with you. But like in general, it's like just there.
But yeah, 125 special defense. And a
Oh, that's different. Hold up, that's different. That's different.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's some. I think Sylvian
That is a
also has.
lot. My bad.
Yeah, Sylvian has
Once
130.
again, I don't know what. Once again, guys, this is me not knowing what I'm talking about. I haven't played all of the DLC yet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're getting up to date with the first DLC yet. Because we were trying hard in our other league. So please forgive us the first weeks.
Yeah.
Also, both the Toxic Chain and Technician for this mon is. It has some options. By the way, Dual Wing Beat gets boosted.
I mean,
by Technician, right?
if it goes fully defensive, the Toxic Chain goes sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it should be Technician because we didn't see it proccing. And Dual Wing Beat should be boosted by Technician too.
Oh, it is. Because I think it's only 40 damage.
Oh yeah, it's 40 damage. Yeah.
Each hit.
So yeah, good prep from Kingler's side. And now let's go to our top threes of the week. I think we're ready.
Ooh, I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
All right, what are we starting with?
All right, so let's go for play of the week first. So we're calling the best plays of the week. It can either be one individual play or just some sequence of plays that led into something.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna definitely go with the Shifry lead. Like I said, I mean, it may not have won the game, but the way it started out, it was so good. I loved it so much, and it shows it. The pickpocket that came right after, oh my goodness! Like I said, the whole thing was amazing. I loved it so much.
Yeah, I think the top three is the Shift 3 lead. I agree with that. The subbing with the Iron Moth into that switch, that was also a really sick play from Mr. Mag. And then
it was timed just right to it.
And then for the third contender, I have a couple options, but I'm not sure which one we can go.
For me, like I'm gonna say, because this can also go in another category we're gonna cover. But for me, it's the Whirlwind on the Phalanx, right? Because it could have gone either way. Now that you brought up close combat, I totally forgot that was an option. But the fact that it was the no retreat and he Whirlwind that same turn, that was amazing.
Yeah, I can see that. It's at least an honorable mention because, yeah, fearing the close combat. And is the Phalanx a Terra Captain? Let me just check it real quick.
It should be.
Because you taking a Terra boosted close combat, it's no joke. So yeah, it takes some balls of steel to do that play. But for me, the other contenders would be either Keith's Hazards play on the early game with the Tsinglu, or the Bandit Woodhammer. Because that came like completely off guard on Funch's match. Like Bobby Sins, he just let Rotom Wash in one hit. And that's a really important pivot in his team. So let's go bottom to top. Who we putting in third place?
Third place. All right, so if you want to do honorable mention on the Whirlwind from Ting Lu, then third place, I think I'm just going to give it to the Choice Band Woodhammer because it was huge, definitely kind of unexpected, but I just feel like these other two are some bigger plays, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's fair. And between the Hazards and the Woodhammer, like, you kind of expect Ting Lu to do that. So I guess there's the style points for the Mimikyu on that one. So yeah, I agree. Let's settle third place for Ben with the Mimikyus. Then second place, I'm not gonna lie, I'm tempting to give it to Mr. Mag, the number 2. Because the shift replay was just so fucking good, man.
Dude, no, you won't get it. It's just because it wasn't just the Will-O-Wisp. It's the combination of Will-O-Wisp and the pickpocket. It was two things, and Yeah, I feel like that's just number one easily.
Yeah, and it
Like I
broke
said, it may
among-
not have won the match,
Mm.
and it may have not won the match, but you landed the will-o-wisp on the mon that mattered a lot, and you robbed his pockets.
Yeah. And if it wasn't by that, he would still have to do with Scyther and Cleaver. And in the end, Cleaver just set hazards.
I'm gonna give it to the Shifter.
Yeah. Agreed. So Shifter wins the play of the week. Oh, who was it again? My memory sucks, guys. If you guys are
MSR.
watching this, one thing, my memory sucks, so don't expect me to remember any single thing, like any.
I believe it's MSR. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, MSR gets the play of the week. Congrats, my brother.
Congratulations, MSR.
Now, we're gonna do something called Did It Matter? That we're gonna analyze with a little bit of math to back it up about the hacks during the week. Probably you guys are seeing a brief cut about this because I didn't have the time to do all the math because, let's be fair, double freeze plus a ton of paras plus 9 fucking turns of not towing. So I didn't have the time to prep this with time, so I'll probably just throw in this in the edit, but I think we can all agree that the hexiest thing of the week was Lemon versus Woba, right?
Yeah, that's definitely the one that not only did it matter, it was crazy because yeah, sure, Lemon got paralyzed. What was it? 3 times in a row? 4 times? No, he got paralyzed twice, but went for a Aurora Veil for some reason. That's what it was, and that's why the turn didn't count. And then when you try to make another move, the next turn he got paralyzed again. That's why so much didn't happen. But it's just neither of the 2 mons that got frozen ever thought out. And especially on the wheezing, there for so long, I think it recovered like 40% health, still never thought. So that's definitely the most hacks. But I do want to give an honorable mention for Harvey versus Alex, because both, got paralysis on each side, but definitely it cost Harvey the game at the last turn, trying to get that grassy glide on the Infernape, which probably would have won him the match. Yeah. So that's an honorable mention for me.
Yeah, agreed. Also, the style points for doing this the way he did with the iDragon, the para hex side.
Oh yes, the para flinch.
So I'll probably cut it into the math section right now. Now, into our first Did It Matter, let me give you guys a brief explanation of what I'm going to do here. Of course, we have a separate panel for every player, one for Lemon, one for Woba. And what those things mean. First, the quantity, I guess it's self-explanatory. We're going with Ninetales being paralyzed to use as an example. And in the following ones, if there's any difference in the calculations or how we do stuff, I'll let you guys know. So, first of all, it was... Wait, let me see if this is working. Okay, now it's back. Our quantity is 5 out of 17 turns. This one is kinda self-explanatory. Quantity means quantity. I hope you guys are not dumb, because Pokemon is not a child's game or something like that, you know? Now, into our expected. It's the expected chance of the said event happening. In this case, Ninetales getting paralyzed. Out of 17 turns, since we have a 25% chance of getting paralyzed, he is expected to get paralyzed 4.25 turns out of 17. This is a really straightforward one, I guess. I don't have to explain, but just in case, you just multiply 17 for 0.25. That it's basically 25%. So, kinda easy. The event is what actually happened in the match. Oops, wrong button. So, it was 5 paras in 17 turns. I guess it's pretty clear so far. Now, the event odds. These are basically the odds of the event happening. About what actually happened on the match. Or worse if possible. So this is not exactly 5 out of 17, but at least 5 out of 17 in this scenario at least. This go case by case, but we go by the way we think it's fairer to compare with other stuff. It helps to illustrate if it's a really hexy move or event, and kinda using as a cutting score. We go a little bit into it later, but I think the cutoff we're gonna use for saying this was hex is 50% or below. So in this case, Ninetales getting paralyzed 5 out of 7, at least 5 out of 17 turns is a 42.6%. So we can say Lemon got unlucky on that one. And hex score, I think it's the best way we found after some talks of doing this is subtracting what happened, the event, from the expected. So the difference between what should happen and what happened is our hex score. So in this one, 0.75. I hope this was easier to understand than it looks, because it's not really that hard. So let's keep going now that you guys know how it works. After that, we have Blizzard missing, because we got a couple misses. I'll be fair, I didn't count all of them because some were in the snow, and you can't miss Blizzard on the snow, so it wouldn't be fair. So 2 out of 2. He missed 2 blizzards out of 2 blizzards not in the snow. He's expected to miss 0.6 since it's a 30% chance of missing. So he's expected to miss 0.6 blizzards in 2 turns. But what happened? He missed both. Our event odds, 9% chances of that happening. So we can say he got really unlucky there. At least by looking at this, guys, don't get me wrong. We all know what happened by now. And his hex score on this one is 1.4. And in total, he has 2.15 hex score in this match. That's how fucked he was on this match. Now, let's spice it up a little bit. We're going to Woba. First of all, overall Blizzard freezes. Before going to the more spicy stuff, there were 4 blizzards that landed, only 2 froze. So it's 2 out of 4 turns. Let me go straight into it. The expected, since it's a 10% chance of freezing a mon with blizzard, it's 0.4 in Pokemon's frozen in 4 turns. But we got 2 freezes in this match. So that's a 5.2% chance, and would be a hex score of 1.6. Now, you should be asking yourself, why is this below the total, and why it should be this score? Now, let me show you why. Because we got 2 freezes in a row, and I think this overrides the 2 out of 4. And since they were in a row, and it's much more unlucky to get frozen in a row, we going with 2 in 2 turns. And we're expected to, in 2 turns, we're expected to have 0.2 Pokemons frozen. Of course, there's no point something Pokemon. We are just dealing with numbers here. And what actually happened, we got 2 freezes in 2 turns. The chances of that happening, the actual 1%. So, shoutouts to Waba. But a job's a job. And this is a hex score by itself of 1.8. But there's more. Now, moving on. It was worse than that. Oops, wrong button. Galarian Weezing. After he was frozen, he didn't thaw out for 7 out of 7 turns. He never thawed out. And we kinda do the opposite here, because not thawing, the event would be 0. and this wouldn't look good because it will be a negative number and I'll have to change the formula, so we're doing the opposite way. Galarian Weezing is expected to stay frozen, oops, wrong button again, in 5.6 out of those 7 turns, because it's a 20% chance of thawing out. And what actually happened, he stood frozen in all of the 7 turns. Now, was that unlucky? It's a 21% chance of not thawing in 7 turns, so I guess it was. That leaves us to the score of 1.4. Funnily enough, it's much harder to... how can I say it? The odds of missing 2 blizzards and the odds of not thawing in 7 turns are different. You can see one is 9 and the other one is 21. But the score is the same, because even if the odds are different, it was still unlucky. But I think this is the better way of showing, but it's still not perfect. I guess this one is the one that shows, because 21% is more than the double of the 9%. So if you guys have another way of doing this, or a suggestion, leave in the comments and we will update, and I'll not redo this, but I'll update this on the next ones. But let's keep going, because there's more. And Umbreon, the other Frozemon, also didn't thaw. That was in 3 out of 3 turns this time. Less than half of Galarian Weezing. Same calculation as before, he's expected to stay frozen in 2.4 of those 3 turns, and he stood frozen in all of them. Now, the odds of this are 51.2%, so we can say he got unlucky on that one at least. So its hex score would be 0.6, but since it passed the threshold, the cutoff we set in the event odds, we're not summing this one into Woba's total. And Woba's total is 3.2. So as we can see, he got more hex than Lemon, but that wasn't a really massacre like it looked, because double freeze, let me just say one thing, we're just dealing with numbers here. Having 2 Pokemons frozen in the same match is a death sentence. So Woba, I know you're probably hating me seeing the numbers right now, but the statistics doesn't show the true story. And I guess basketball, American football, and soccer, or as all the rest of the world calls football, those 3 sports shows that, because you can see a lot of guys that look really good in the stats, in the numbers, but when they play, they look like shit. So don't take this too seriously, but I guess it's a fun reference. And now, to complete this, just a sec. We're going to our rankings. First of all, the hex rank. This is self-explanatory. We're getting the total hex score of just the match we analyze. I don't have time to do this for every single match. If someone write down every single hex that happened in every single match, I might consider doing this for the whole week. But you will need to do this literally until the end of the season. So good luck. I doubt anyone will do this work. And it's still not a promise, it's just a consideration. But the hex rank, so far we only have those 2 players. If they appear again, the new week's, let's say, score will sum to what they have. And we also had the Masuda rank, that we get literally the player who got most benefited for those big hex moments. And this was a good first week, because I had examples to show everything to you guys. The cutoff happening in the Umbreon thing, and we got 2 players dealing with hex. So I can show you guys what we'll do in these situations. And also, like, with the overall blizzard freezes and the freezes in a row, you guys can see a little bit of how we think to try to make this the most fair possible. So in this case, let me scroll down to the sides a little bit more. So The Hex rank, we just talk about it, self-explanatory. In the Masuda rank, you guys can see Lemon has a 1.05 score. Since both players got Hexed, the fairest way of doing this is taking Woba score minus Lemon score, then we have 1.05. The difference is how lucky Lemon got compared to Woba using our calculations. If Lemon get lucky again, we'll add it in MS2. And then if it happens again MS3, the totals will sum. Same here, if Woba get hexed again, we'll drop on this one. And in the end of the season, we can have an idea of who got most benefited by big hex moments and who got the most unlucky. It's not, as we said, an overall thing because there's 16, so 8 matches every single week. So give your boy a break. But that's it. I hope you guys like the idea. Leave in the comments what you guys think. And as we said, if you find a better way to give a score or a grade or something in the hex that is supported by statistic and not like how you feel about that. And that's it. Let's go back into the rest of it with Dr. Stein. And now we're back with the set of the week now. And we have some cool ones this week. Actually, there was one that I didn't write down, but I feel it's deserved at least that we talk about that, the Cryogonal. With the snowscape Aurora Veil. It didn't work out because he got knocked off the light clay, so it wasn't as good as it could be, but still, I think it's at least an honorable mention, right?
Oh no, definitely, especially because you don't expect that something as frail as the Cryogonal, right? If there was like a different ice type, you would give it to or a different mod that you want to set it up with something a little more bulkier. So definitely props for that Cryogonal right there. But I do want to mention these three, if you'll let me here. Well, at least my three. The Hazard Support Hydreigon, or the Hacks Hydreigon, was very, very much it's a bit of a troll set on paper, but you realize it actually did a lot for him in that match. Yeah. So definitely not troll. It was good. Offensive Claw. Oh my goodness, I love saying that. No. He said, "You want a wall? I'll give it to you," and proceeds to wall his opponents with pain. I love it so much. Zen Headbutt. No one saw his comment. Mega Horn. I've used it actually personally a few times on some Wi-Fi matches. It is actually really nice, especially for any psychics that want to come in. But man, it was great. And then the Dual Wing Beat Pheasantipity. I think that was a really nice set as well.
Yeah, I agree on the three. I would also shout out the Trailblaze Scyther that almost got a sweep if it was just a little bit of damage on the... Let me remember the mon that needed to get a little bit of damage. It's on this one. This one. No, this one. The Tatsugiri. If it had took a little bit of prior damage, Scyther would just sweep at that point. Yeah, the Trailblaze Scyther got some new weapons with Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, but like I said, I think Scyther is just one of those mons that progressively gets better with all the tools that Game Freak keeps giving it.
Yeah, but after seeing again the Cryogonal, even after being knocked off, the Veil still put some work, so yeah, I guess that's the honorable mention. Now with third place, since we agree on our contenders, I'm for third place between Hydreigon and Pheasantipity, not gonna lie.
I'm gonna give it to Pheasantipity because it was a sick plague with a technician, but it was Scarf just to get the upper hand. And it's not that it's not special. It was a very great prep on Kingler's part, but I think I'm just giving it third place because it's like one move that really worked out well.
Yeah, and in that match at least,
it's like
go.
Sorry.
Not go on.
I was gonna say because in this case where because that's why we gave the honorable mention to Scyther because it got Trailblaze, but that was like the only great prep or the sick tag on the set, right? So the same thing goes with Pheasantipity here.
Yeah, I agree. He could have some other stuff cooked on his set, but we only got to see that. So yeah, The Hydreigon, I feel it did a little bit more in the match. So I guess this is settled. We got the third place for Phasandipity, then the second one for Hydreigon, and Dusty, congratulations. You got the set of the week with the offensive Quasar. And please keep bringing...
Congratulations, Dusty.
Keep bringing the heat for us. We love to see it. And now, that's the sad part. No one... I guess you don't want to be shout out right now, but we keep it real here. The Mafia doesn't play games, and we have to teach our boys. And sometimes the lessons come with a hard pill to swallow. So now we have the fail of the week. It could be either bad plays, wrong predictions, forgetting Prankster versus Darkmons, clutch misses, those kind of shit. Maybe you're not even accountable. It could be like a miss in the wrong time. But it also could be your fault. But we just hope you guys can take something good out of it and don't take it badly. And let's think who we got our contenders. There's a couple ones we talked before. I think I have at least to do an honorable mention to the No Retreat versus the Whirlwind, because on the same hand, clicking Whirlwind versus Phalanx was a ballsy move and it was a good play and deserved a mention. I feel clicking No Retreat versus Stinglu is not the way to go. When you could possibly Terra Fighting,
because it has the Whirlwind.
Yeah. You could CC, you could Terra Fighting CC. You may not be Terra Fighting on that, but still, CC should do a lot. And the risk of being rear-winded.
Yeah.
I think it's at least an honorable mention. But now, for
I'd say it's just an honorable mention.
For our top three, who are going in third place?
Third place, I'm going to go for the... Third place, I'm going to give it to the Scald on Tatsu. Because you have Commander, Storm Drain, you're playing singles.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to have, you know? If it's still alive, and more than anything, if it's still alive, it's not worth risking it.
Yeah, it's even worse because it was directly on his face. It wasn't a switch, you know?
Oh, yeah. I actually forgot about that. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I have no idea what happened there.
Yeah, I mean...
Actually, you know what? No, that's not gonna... If it was directly in front of him, in that case, no, that's not gonna be third place. In that case, third place, I'm gonna give to the Mian Shaosak.
I see the logic. I think it's fair. Oh, let's swap it around.
Yeah, because it could have worked, but he misread that way too much, and it cost him what could have been the winning factor in this game.
I think he expected like either a dark move, sucker punch, but still there is the chance you're just losing your fastest mon and regenerator like that, and the fake out as you mentioned. Like it was too much to risk like that. And honestly, at that point, just sack the fucking Pincurchin.
Agreed. It already did its job, so
yeah.
Definitely agree. Yeah, but then the second one I would give to the Scald on Tatsu, right in the face.
And unfortunately, it leaves us with our first place. That is the Typhlosion Isuyan first turn.
Yeah, like I said, he wasn't even Terra Fairy as an option. What was he actually gonna do? Like I that's why I'm saying if who was it that had the Typhlosion? Oh, was it Wappa TV?
Yeah, Wappa.
Yeah, sorry. Wow.
Too many names, guys. Too many names.
E's as P's. But hey, don't worry. As the weeks go by, we're gonna get these names perfect. Trust me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wappa. I really don't understand what the plan here was. That Terra Fairy is the only thing that's doing damage to that Hydreigon. So staying in turn one it's a blank to me. You understand what I mean? Yeah. I don't really have much more to say here.
The only thing I might forgive in the situation if it's scarfed, because now that I look again, it's not even a good lead in this match. Because look to the other side, you have Greninja, you have Hexorus, you have Great Tusk. You don't want to lead Typhlosion on this match, I feel.
Yeah.
Like I get it if it's Ninetales, but it's literally 1-1 from.
Hey, but once again, you mentioned Great Tusk and Greninja as the other option leads, right? What did they all have in common with Haxorus? They get bodied by a Terra Fairy Blast. But once again, he wasn't even Terra Fairy as an option to begin with.
Yeah.
So once again, why?
Also, maybe I should make the calc beforehand, but we also need to know if, even if it's Terra Fairy, maybe EQ just knocks that out, because Hexor is hella strong. It's I think 143 base attack. 147. So maybe even if it Terra Fairy, it could just get wrecked turn 1. Oh yeah, Waba, we're sorry about this, but hey, congratulations, you got the first week's fail of the week, I guess.
Oh, do that! Don't do.
Hey, don't worry. One thing I'm seeing a lot in draft leagues, if you do a fail week 1 or if you lose week 1, you have great chances to win. Just saying. All the last winners of draft leagues I'm seeing, they lost their week 1 matches. So keep your eyes open to the late sweepers.
And keep your heads up if you lost week 1, right? Like, I know we're sounding a little harsh and kind of like a bunch of douches here, but no, just trust me, it comes from love.
I'm a fucking douche. You guys can expect worse.
We roast each other up too.
Oh yeah, it's much worse in the inside of the circle. Don't worry.
Yeah, but the Mafia shows no mercy, not even to themselves.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be even more a bitch as the weeks go by and I get to know you guys. So I'm sorry about that. It's like, just let me say, it's like your parents when they slap you and they complain about stuff you do. They do it with love because they want you to grow. So fuck you, get good. Basically that, all of you. Now to close this thing, let's go to the game of the week. This is basically self-explanatory, and honestly, we had so many good ones this week. That
who would you give number 3 to? I'm curious.
Number 3.
Because my opinion actually changed today, looking back through all these games.
Honestly, I think number 3 I would give MSR versus Herdis.
I am with you there. Once again, just because of the shift replay, I think that's just so much because it's such a strong opening, and more than one thing happened at once with one move. So yeah, really good stuff.
And also, if it wasn't by the failed predict on the Sylveon when Orthworm was there, like if Sylveon swaps, he might could be in a good position, and also was good played by Herdis to ball in and staying in front of Orthworm. So I can see a good play from both sides, even if it only, of course, paid off to one of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's.
I think I'm gonna give number 2 to Harvey versus or Alex.
Yeah, I was really between
because
that and the number 1, but yeah, I think I go number 2 with Harvey Goof too.
Yeah, I loved how close to the wire it was for anybody, and it came down to whether Rillaboom was gonna get parried or not. Because if not, it was guaranteed to be Harvey's win. So it was very close, and I loved it.
Yeah, and we had some heat from both sides. We got the Sandaconda is always hit. I love that mon. And we got the Choice Banded Rillaboom. That's not something you see every day. And the Parahex Hexorus. Like, they brought normal sets in most of the mons, but they brought some cool heat, and the game itself was really well played. I think it's a good deserving. Number 2 was really fun to watch. But
Sure was. So number one.
how can we not give number one to Lemon versus Woba? Come on, guys. 2 freezes in one game, a ton of paras, a ton of not towing, wheezing Galarian, basically asking, please kill me. I'm feeling so cold. I can't do this anymore. But nah, our boy Lemon just made our gentleman suffer in the cold. That guy is merciless.
All right. So I respect the decision, right? But personally, if I had a contender for number one, I'd give it to Keith versus Nico, simply because of how well it was all under control, like we talked about early on. But I think I'll probably leave that for a nice contender because, the Lemon versus Woba was hard, but to look at, but very entertaining. But I can't lie, the entertainment factor is all there.
I know what you mean. One is more competitive sided, but the other one is
and the other one's
full
just
Pokemon
hacks
magic.
galore.
It's like I feel Lemon versus Woba is the match that shows you everything Pokemon is about. Both the strategy part and the hacks, the percentages, the chances. Because that's basically the biggest differential in Pokemon for me, you know? Like, you can use your strategy, but there's also RNG involved. So it's a big parallel with poker, if you think about it.
Fair point. But yeah, congratulations to Lemon versus Woba.
Yeah, I think we have to give them, because after all, we want to compete, we want to do sick plays, but as I said, there were some sick plays and the magic all in one match. I think you can top that.
But we want to be entertained.
Yeah, we want to have some fun. You guys have to understand, we're not playing. We want to see you guys kill yourselves with either your best weapons or your coolest weapons. We're fine with both of those. So bring whatever you think will work better next week. Either your strongest move or your most gimmicky ones. Sometimes those are the ones who give you the victory. But yeah, we should give at least a mention to Keith and Michael.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, they're probably on the polar opposite of what Lemon and Woba's match were. It's ideally what a competitive looking game looks like. Get your hazards set up, get your switches, all that jazz. A lot of switches on both parts, a lot of setup, and down to the wire and calculations. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. And I guess that's it for our week 1. That was a lot of stuff to do. Probably we'll try to make these things a bit shorter next time. We're trying to get our feelings, see how we feel about doing stuff. And now we have a week to arrange and see what we like, what we didn't, what you guys like, what you didn't. Please leave on the comments. Also, if you're not yet, drop a sub, drop a like. Why you didn't drop a sub yet? What the fuck? And also, check on the description. There will be also Stein's YouTube there and his social medias. You guys can also follow our boy, our doctor from the mafia.
Please no, I'm lonely over here.
Yeah.
Things have not been the same ever since the expose video. I need help.
Yeah, show our boy some love. The doc needs a doctor and some love. So you guys know what to do. And I guess that's it for us. Week 1. Oh, let me try to show you on the screen right now just how the standings ended up week 1. Not much to do, it's just 1 week, so I'll just leave the print. There's not much to talk about it, and there's still a long way to go. And next week matchups, by what we saw, you want to try to make some predicts?
Let me take a quick look at this, a quick gander, if you will. Go into schedule. Let's see, Alex versus Woba YouTube. I want to go with Woba because I feel like he just got cheated a lot out of hacks in that turn 1. Besides that, I do see the potential. So, Woba, I'm going for you, rooting for you. We know we gave you the fail of the week, but by no means does that mean we think you're the worst in the league. No, I know you got the potential. We're looking forward to seeing that. Who are you going for the first one?
Yeah, I think I agree. Like, even in the emotional side, like, he will have so much blood in his eyes on this next match because of everything that happened in his. Like, I know the feeling when you lose by Hex, you just wanna throw your PC out of your window, but after a while, you take a walk, you think a little bit, and you say, why would I break my stuff if I can make the next guy suffer? So I feel Wuba is going like that. Now, MSR versus Mr. Meg. This is a tricky one.
Ooh.
But I have to go with Mr. Meg.
Yeah, I'm partial because he got the Iron Moth that I drafted and the DDL.
Oh yeah, Solar.
And yeah, I'm just partial. Yeah, I got my favoritism is showing. So sorry, I gotta go with Mr. Mag.
And not only that, I feel Mr. Meg has a good matchup against him, so he might need to put something out of his sleeves. Building versus Mr. Meg team will be a nightmare. Not gonna lie. Then we have Embrace Assassin versus Innova. This is a trick one.
Let me see. I'm gonna go with Embrace Assassin simply because he's got the phalanx and I want to see him make it work. That's the only reason. I want to see him put it to work.
I'm looking at both teams. It really depends on which mons come in, but I see more potential for Innova, not gonna lie. He still has a...
Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, I'm just going for the phalanx plays. That's it.
Oh, yeah,
so
you're going for glory, I respect that.
If Innova, yeah, I'm going for glory here.
And this is our time to shine and to make sick predictions and miss and fail miserably or just be a genius. So yeah, I'm going with Innova this one. So at least we can disagree on something so we can brag over each other next week.
Watch Phalanx get the 6-0.
This time the no retreat will not be whirlwinded or roared.
Yes. Exactly.
Now Peter versus Kingler.
Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, I really like Kingler's play style. I think I'm gonna go for Kingler here.
Yeah, same. I just think Kingler's team is so good that his draft is not only really good, but it's so easy to pilot with all these mons. It's hard to say a draft is perfect, but it's one of the closest ever I saw from perfect. Not gonna lie. Like, the dude has everything. He has... How did you guys let Ogrepon Heartflame, Tinglu, zap those Fezandipti? Like, I can just read his whole team and it still looks insane.
It's the same way Fudge got hold of both Loking and Excalibur.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dusty versus Fudge.
Oh yeah, the battle of the Mafia. Matchup wise, I kinda see going to Dusty, not gonna lie. But I feel like Fudge is too tricky, like
Fudge is tricky, but Dusty's unpredictable.
Yeah, that's also something.
That's what it comes down to.
Like, we can look at Fudge.
I think I'm gonna give it to Dusty. I'm gonna give it to Dusty. I feel like it didn't work out week 1. Actually, it was working out. Just some minor misplay or two. But I feel like if he gets under control, he's got this.
I mean, if we look at both teams...
I love you, Fudge, by the way.
If we look at both teams, we have the Pinkerton to enable the bundle and the Arrowleys. We have the Cloudzire and the Mandibus to do some good walling. We have the Magneton for some good style points. Shout out to Nickelback, the Mafia's Magneton, by the way. Cyclizar, a lot of stuff. Funch also has, as we said, the Bex Glow King. He also has an Ogrepon. And also, if you also look to Benstein, there's a ton of threats together. But that said, that bitch let Showdown hacks me on DDL. The Mafia doesn't forget. Dusty wins. Because Funch will be hexed to death for all the hurricanes and gunk shots I missed in DDL Funch, I love you, but I hope you lose. And by Hex.
No, not by the hacks.
No, he will be hexed to shit. Like, he'll get parried 3 times, he'll miss 3 moves. And then we're fine. Then I forgive you after that. Then this will be a sick one, next one. Bobby Sins versus Michael.
Ooh.
Because those are 2 guys.
Well, we saw that Bobby Sins is a patient man. So,
yeah, those are 2 guys who got really
I don't know.
close of winning. 2.
Let me see. I think I'm gonna go with Michael because he was very close. And like I said, just in that match, Keith probably just had the better prep. But honestly, Michael's got a very, very patient way, even in a bad situation. So I think we're gonna go with Michael.
That's fair. The more I look, more I see a good matchup to Bobby though. Because it's hard for Bobby to deal with Dragapult besides Florges and Chiyu. But that said, there's still Florges and Chiyu. Those are also not easy mons to break through. I think I'm going with Bobby. Just for our boy Dragapult.
The partiality is showing.
Oh yeah, the Mafia has its boys back. I mean, it's still week 1, you guys showed me some cool stuff, so you're still winning points. So when I'm in the, how can I say, in the fence, I'll have to find something that stands out in my eyes. But there's also like Heatran and Rotom Wash are 2 mons that are not easy to break. And there's also some good stuff that didn't came out, like the Crook. Crook is also Intimidate, Hazards, the Moxie. It has different ways to be built around. I feel like the arsenal on Bobby Sins can make a little bit more of a difference. Like to be unpredictable, you know?
We'll see. We're gonna find out. But I think Michael, with enough patience, can pull it off.
Yeah, I think Michael, on Michael's side, he needs to go with something like more simple and effective, and just play by the book and patiently. I think that's the way you break those kind of mons like Rotom and Dragapult, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
Then that boy Keith versus Harvey.
This is tricky for me, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's a close one.
It's really close.
Because at least by week 1...
I really don't know what...
Yeah, at least by week 1, Keith showed to be like a really good player, but if I look into both teams, I feel like Harvey has a good matchup.
I'm looking at the sheet here, and yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I think Harvey has the matchup, but Keith's no strangers a bad matchup.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with Keith, even if Harvey has the matchup. I feel like with the level of prep Keith showed and his like steadiness on week 1, like if he comes up with a plan that he's comfortable, I feel it will be hard to break down, because he showed already in his prep that he can like get comfortable even in a bad situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Keith.
Yeah, so 2 votes for Keith, and last one, Lemon versus Herdis.
Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna go with Lemon. I believe in the power of RNGesus.
Yeah, I'm looking at both teams.
How about you?
I'm tempted to go Lemon too, but It's the saying, you know, lightning doesn't strike twice. But at the same time, Lemon might have a lot of luck with hacks in first week, but he also played like a demon. Like it's not really fair to say that he.
Well, hey, yeah.
It was only
Look,
the hacks.
yes, you have to remember, turn 1 he played it well. The choice scarf earthquake got rid of a really good threat. So I think Lemon actually, you know, the hacks kind of clouds our judgment, thinking it's only hacks. But no, I think Lemon's still a good player even without the hack. So I'll give it to him.
But I think I'm gonna go with Herdis. Now that I look more into the Mons. There's a lot of stuff he didn't bring that are huge threats to, like Komo, Fortress. King Gambit also didn't came with one. And there's like a ton of combos that he can make that makes really hard to prep versus Stein. He can go like really hyper offensive, he can go like completely bulk. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with him this week for week 2.
Fair.
Let's
All
see
right,
how
and I
they
guess
get
those are our
feelings.
pickems.
So, guys, make us proud week 2. Please, everybody that I say that's gonna win your games.
Make me proud.
And most important, don't get hacked, win your games, and have fun. And I guess that concludes our week 1. Thanks, Ty, for being here with me, doing this analysis. We might have a guest next week, and we're probably setting up our camps too. We kind of did it a little bit on the fly, because I'm not gonna lie, the week passed so fucking fast that I couldn't made the overlay and get the replays faster. But now that we got the first one done, let's call this a draft, and now we write the final version, and week 2 will be phenomenal. And that's it. You want to say something else, brother?
Subscribe, like, comment, please.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You heard
thank you
dog.
for watching the whole video.
Yeah, thank you guys. I hope you guys like. Please leave on the comments wherever you think it was nice, wherever you think we missed. If you disagree with all the shit we said. After all, let's gonna have some good discussions and learn more and improve together. Also, thanks Cass for having us, Cass and Shiro on the PUDL for letting us do this little thing.
Thank you guys.
And also, thank you to all the players for the matches and to giving us content to shit talk about. I mean, without you guys, who would we be beating right now? So that's it, guys. That concludes.
Nothing but you guys.
That concludes our week 1. You heard the doc. Like, subscribe, and all the jazz. Leave a comment and stay tuned for week 2. Thank you, guys. Good night or good morning, depending on your time zone or whatever. See ya.